What is up, guys? Okay, going live, which I very rarely do, but I just feel like this is so much easier than like recording a video and then having to edit. So the moment that I get even one person on, I'm gonna start. And yes, I will definitely save this so that most of the time people just catch the replay, but so that'll be there. I'm going to be talking about how do you know, or are you building your own wellness journey for yourself, like what you want, or are you building someone else's? And so I'm kind of just going to, describe ways in which you can ensure that you're building a wellness journey that is what you want and that's yours and not somebody else's. And this will not even be long. So, let's see. So, I am going to go ahead and get started. So, we all have heard at one point in time, like a story about the person that climbed the corporate ladder, reached this level of success. Circumstantially, it looks like they have met, all the life goals, in any way possible. And then they realize this is not making me happy, this is not what I want, and then they leave it all and they go and do something outrageous, and people are kind of like, I can't believe that they did that. They left, that role, that job, that level of success just to go and do something else that has no comparison. And this can still be applied, that same idea, to people on a wellness journey. So like, when I get with my clients, we craft a wellness vision. And essentially this wellness vision is just a compelling statement about who they are and what life-giving behaviors, what health-promoting behaviors they want to be doing consistently 3 months, 6 months, a year from now. It's 5 years. It's just a future vision that they have for themselves. And so I do this because a lot of times when I tell people about my one-on-one health coaching, I tell them about what I do, what my focus is, and the way that I coach in health coaching is completely different than what a lot of health coaches do, which is fine. But the common question that I always get is like, so is this a weight loss program? And it's like sometimes people, and I think this is just our society's obsession with weight. That's a whole nother topic. But outside of their weight loss, it's almost like, what else is going on? So when you think about your life beyond weight loss, how are you feeling emotionally? Who's around you? What are you doing? How are you feeling? Like envisioning yourself outside of that and what else is going on in your life. There are 6 dimensions to your wellness. So your physical wellness is just one part of who you are. And so when I partner with my clients and talk to them about making their wellness vision, I'm like getting to the heart of what lights you up. Like, what do you want more of in your life right now in this present moment? And a lot of my clients, when they start to share, it always ends up being about the people that they care about most in their life, ironically, and less about themselves. But by meeting their needs for themselves and taking care of themselves, they're able to show up in the way that they want for those in their life that they care about. And so the thing that I want people to consider when they're about to start on a wellness journey, whatever that looks like for you, and if you're like, I don't know, what to define wellness as, and I use that very intentionally, you can go to a post on my feed and I talk briefly about the 6 dimensions of wellness and what makes up each dimension. But you want to first acknowledge your strengths, your values, your desires, your motivators. And one I think that people forget a lot of times is your past victories. So you want to acknowledge your strengths, because I think people forget that you have strengths. We so quickly go to what's not working, what we don't have, but we never hold up and acknowledge and hold space for the strengths that we already have. Your values are going to guide what your vision will inevitably look like. So if it's family is important to you, if success generating financially a lot of money is important, like your values will really dictate that vision. So you want to know what those are, and your desires. What is it that you want? I mean, sometimes my clients, they simply just want to be present with their kids and then with their partner. And then what are your motivators, like your big why for that? And past victories are essential because it reminds you and gives your brain evidence of a time when you were already doing something similar that's a component of your wellness vision in the future. And so when you can recall a past victory, then you're able to say what things were present that supported me to have success then, and what was going on in that season. And then you were like, wow, I've done this before. These are the things that were helpful and helped me to be successful. And so that's why it's super important to glean from past victories. And then too, once you have crafted your compelling vision statement, this can be in a sentence, a paragraph form. You can use like a song to represent your wellness vision, an image, a piece of art. Anything that when you look at it, when you hear it, when you read it, you get this feeling inside that gets you excited, that makes you motivated, that brings a sense of warmth to you and makes you smile, because it's truly what you want at the core of who you are. It's not what someone else or what society has projected or made you think that you needed. And it keeps you in check in terms of, as seasons change, your goals change, but your goals will stay aligned with your wellness vision and what you want. And so that's why it's so important to have your wellness vision be manifested either in words, a song, or like a piece of art or an image. And the other thing is, I like to tell my clients to reserve judgment. So when I ask you to paint me a picture of the best case scenario of your, optimal well-being or whatever, I always tell them, like, before you speak, I want you to reserve judgment towards yourself and what comes out of your mouth, because what you share is truly at the abundance and core of who you are. And so you want to reserve that judgment and let yourself say it out loud. Let yourself write it down and see, wow, what is truly at the core of what I want? Because you may find it isn't what you are presently saying, that, oh yeah, I really want to do this, I really want to do that, I want to be able to do this. And the wellness vision helps you to understand and make clear that I'm following and doing what's important to me. And so the last thing is, there are like different writing prompts that you can use. And so, for instance, one is like, what elements of your health and well-being do you want to improve, right? And really write that out. And again, the 6 dimensions of wellness, go back to my feed on my page and look at that post, because take into account all of those different areas, like not just the typical outside physical appearance. Another writing prompt is, given all that's going well, what are you wishing for? And again, reserve judgment and really allow what is the first thing that comes up to be what you write, to be what you say. Again, that's generated from the core being of who you are. And then a last one I'll share is, what would you look and feel like at your ideal level of wellness? And notice I didn't say fitness and I didn't say health, but wellness, because there's 6 dimensions of wellness. There's more than just one aspect that makes up all of who you are. And so these are just different things that you can do when you are starting a wellness journey. You're trying to reevaluate where you are in your wellness journey, to help you ensure that you're creating a vision that is yours and you're working towards a wellness journey that is yours. And that's also what helps it be sustainable, because you are now doing something that's in alignment with your values, your strengths, your desires, your motivators. That's what's going to keep you going, and that's what helps prevent the burnout. That's what helps prevent stopping and then starting again, and then it's just, you get out of that perpetual cycle of starting over all the time. And so I am a health coach, and I partner with millennial women who are ready to start and stay on a wellness journey with clarity and confidence and ease. And I keep health simple. There's a lot of conflicting information out there that leads people to be super overwhelmed. They don't know where to start. They don't know what to believe. And I help them get clear on their wellness vision. I help them establish 3-month goals, and we continue to make different weekly goals. I provide you with different tools that you can use that will really help you center on the mindset aspect, so that as different seasons come up in your life, you're able to learn how to implement these tools and adapt to them. And this all just makes me think about yesterday with my client. We take time in each session to explore a topic that is related to your wellness vision. And she really wanted to explore motivation. She felt like she wasn't feeling motivated, and she didn't know, how to get there for her next 2 weeks and the goals that she had. And so when we came down to it, it was crazy that she ended up expressing that I asked her, what would the fruit of motivation look like for you in the next 2 weeks? And at the end of the day, she literally just wanted to be present and mindful so that she can show up to her child and show up for herself. And that makes sense at the core of every human need that we have. Or if we don't have those needs met, that's when all of the emotion of overwhelm and frustration and stuff start to really overflow. And so by her having her needs met, she would be able to show up for her child and herself. And then once I kind of acknowledged that to her, she was able herself generate all of these possibilities and things that she could do in the next 2 weeks to help support her in that, so she could be motivated to do some of the things she needed to check off. And I thought in that moment, this is what people need. They need tools like this to be able to understand and see that if they focus more on themselves and getting their needs met, it would allow for their brain to see the possibilities, and they would come up with their own goals and the things that are beneficial for them in that season, and wherever they are, and it will help them thrive. And she was so much more excited about going into these next 2 weeks, and I just walked away like, this is why I love what I do. So if you are looking for some clarity, if you're looking for more confidence in establishing your wellness goals and moving towards your ideal wellness vision, go to the link in my bio. You can schedule a discovery call with me. You can fill out an application if you're interested in working with me. I'm taking one-on-one clients right now still, and I would love to hear your story. I would love to hear what your wellness vision is. And no, this is not a weight loss program. This is something that works more on the inner part of who you are and on your mindset, so that once you do leave me, you have tools necessary to have sustainable lifestyle change, and that it fits in the 6 dimensions of wellness, not just in one of the 6. So I'm so happy for y'all who came and supported and just listened. And for those catching the replay, you can DM me if you have any questions or any thoughts after hearing this. And I really do hope that you are creating your wellness vision and not someone else's. Bye, y'all.